Goten and Trunks were gifted by the S-cells of their respective fathers to do great things. But what if they didn't rely on that? Welcome to What If Goten and Trunks Actually Trained. Let's begin. All this starts at the beginning of the 7-year time gap when Goten and Trunks are first introduced. Goten and Trunks are 7 and 8 respectively, and even in canon had immense strength and potential for kids as is. But this time, they're even stronger. Both are influenced, but not from the same people. Trunks takes up after his father and his father's training partner. Even though Trunks isn't particularly wise or old enough to give advice, he manages to unlock a few things his dad was struggling with for a very long time, giving him tips on improving. Vegeta has managed to unlock Super Saiyan 2 with Trunks' help, along with Trunks, who is still a kid. Vegeta has a very great pride in his son and the fact Trunks is on his path. Goten, on the other hand, didn't really have much to do, and the sparring sessions with Chi-Chi weren't nearly as challenging, so Goten managed to force his brother to train with him. Even though Gohan was busy with school, he squeezed in more and more training until Goten managed to switch him back to his old Saiyan roots. With the switch done, all they did for the most part was train. Gohan taught on the thing that Piccolo did, and that is to survive in the harsh conditions of the wilderness. Goten managed to survive with little to no issue and is more or less ready for the real shit. Meanwhile, Trunks and Vegeta were a good match to train, but nothing came close to Goten and Trunks training. Whenever Chi-Chi let Goten train, Trunks was there in an instant, and they went for some of the most intense training sessions ever. They sometimes used the gravity chamber at Capsule Corp and trained their asses off. Since they were more of a match to train, their potential skyrocketed and their base was nearly on par with Vegeta's and pretty much tied with Gohan, which meant that Gohan was impressed and motivated by his younger brother, which managed to start pushing Gohan towards training more like he used to. However, high school came around for Gohan and he has managed to get along with the majority of his class on the first day. He has gone to school before the whole heist thing, so not a single soul even knew who he is, and not a single trace of Gohan was known, except Videl. Videl senses something odd about Gohan and decides to interrogate him on her own. She does innocent things to see how he handles, so she trips onto him and he's like a brick wall. Videl is confused on a nerd being so tough, but Gohan is clueless and just thinks of her as a bit of a clumsy girl. That changes though when he sees her battling thugs in a city to protect it. Gohan is interested to see Videl is the one protecting the city, and just like any other Saiyan, is actually aroused to see a woman being so strong. Gohan meets up with Videl after the battle, and then they start hitting it off. They start talking in a nearby cafe and eventually get to know each other. Videl mentions how she's a daughter of Mr. Satan, the one who apparently beat Cell, and Gohan is still hiding his very little secret that he has from 7 years back. However, that doesn't really hold the water at all, as Gohan sees Goten flying around the city looking for his brother. Gohan screams for Goten, and Videl now knows what is going on. She knew that Gohan was odd, but she didn't know that he was that odd and that his entire family was basically freaks, and so she started questioning him on how his little brother can fly and everything that is going on regarding his strength. Gohan couldn't really hold back anymore and couldn't really hide anything anymore, so he just got out with the truth. He mentions how him and his brother are basically half-breeds of aliens and humans, and how the power that Goten has displayed in front of her is just the tip of the iceberg. Videl is amazed, however, she still wants one thing, and that is to learn how to fly exactly like Goten, so that she could go to school a lot safer and also to get to the place of battle a lot sooner. Gohan is kind of reluctant, but then Videl chastises him and starts roasting him that everything will go out if he doesn't. Gohan is then forced to train her, and so they start on doing that. The next day after school, Gohan and Videl go on their merry way to go and train up. They decide to train at Gohan's house. However, Gohan has his Nimbus cloud, and so tries to get Videl on it. Videl is miraculously good-hearted, and so she manages to get on a Nimbus Cloud no problem. They get to Gohan's house and they begin training. Gohan introduces Videl to the whole ki stuff, and once Videl got the energy control down, they start on training for the actual flight. The whole thing more or less goes pretty much the same as canon, just without Goten. Goten is basically with Trunks training, while Gohan is training Videl on how to fly. Videl though has one more question left in her sleeves, and that is about the gold hair Goten was displaying while he was flying. Gohan mentions how that is called a Super Saiyan, and that is the trait of the alien DNA he has, and then how it's basically an energy multiplier that allows him to boost his strength to about 50 times of normal. Gohan eventually shows it off, and Videl is amazed. Videl then asks Gohan to join in on a Tenkaichi Budokai, and Gohan is still reluctant on doing that since he basically gave up fighting. He's only training every now and then. However, Videl is still going for it, saying how he has immense power and that is gonna be quite useful considering his family doesn't really have enough money to be sustained. And so, Gohan thinks about it and then joins in on the fun. Gohan then goes with Videl to Capsule Corp to go and find himself a good disguise as to not let anyone know that he's actually Gohan. He puts on simple clothes just like his father, except he has a bandana on both top and on his face, which is nothing alike the Great Saiyan Man. As the preparations begin, Goku starts calling out from the other world to the real world, asking if he can join the tournament. Gohan is ecstatic to hear his father once again, and Vegeta is too ecstatic hearing his old friend once again. Goten and Trunks also know about Goku, but they still don't know enough about him as they never met him. Videl is confused but still rolls with it, at least up until the point she finds out that the dead father is Goku, and she slowly starts remembering Goku, Gohan and the rest just duking it out against Cell. Either way, the tournament is set and Goku is coming back for one day. After about a month, Goku arrives and he's all ready to go for a battle. He meets his youngest son Goten and sees his immense power, asking how did he train. Goten just says that he's been training with Trunks and Gohan, but other than that, just plain old and simple fun. Goku is proud of his younger son, and with that out of the way, the preliminaries begin. Since the punching machine has a bit of a congestion, the kid division begins, so now the Z fighters have to watch the kids going at it. However, they're not there for the rest of the competition, they're there for Goten vs Trunks, to see the fruits of their training and to see who will win out of the two of them. After the other kids got severely embarrassed from their performance, Goten and Trunks finally come up and the real battle begins. They start off strong from the very beginning and the power they're outputting is immense. When it comes to the no Super Saiyan thing, they actually abide by that rule, and so Goten is the one to win the battle, even though Trunks is a bit more powerful than Goten. Vegeta is pissed knowing that Trunks is more powerful than Goten, but that doesn't mean anything as Goku and Vegeta are gonna start fighting in the actual tournament to see who will come out on top. And eventually the real tournament does begin, and after everyone starts getting embarrassed over their performance, there is this one battle that is kind of unwinnable. Piccolo and an unknown entity come into the ring and Piccolo cannot move. Not even a single muscle can be moved from his end, as this mysterious foe is basically towering above him on a psychological level. Piccolo is forced to quit the battle and exit the ring, making Shin the winner. And then everything turns for the worse. The accomplice of the mysterious entity and Gohan enter the ring, and the accomplice asks Gohan about the Super Saiyan transformation, to which Gohan basically has to reply with honesty. That means the Super Saiyan transformation happens right then and there, without any pauses. Gohan goes straight to Super Saiyan 2 and both Yamo and Popovich get down to business. The mysterious entity now known as Shin paralyzes Gohan and lets the two suck all the energy out of him with their little harpoon. Then they just dip out of there. Gohan is left powerless. Goku, Vegeta, Goten and Trunks all start going after the two that sucked out Gohan's energy. Piccolo and Krillin also follow. We're leaving the series here. While you wait for the next part, join the T23 Discord server with the vanity URL down in the description. If you want to rep some merch, there's a tab on my channel so you can check it out. The newest edition made by a fan on the T23 Discord server. Thank you for watching, and with that, peace out.